Now, this part is the touch strip part. They have you do all the way to the right, all the way to the left, and then both touch strips. So they start you out on this side, on the left deck first. It's far right, far left, in the middle for each deck. And you'll have to come back and press the 1 on the left deck no matter what, even when you're on the right deck. So again, you'll see my finger go down on the touch strip, the 1 lights up, and you press the 1. Far right, 1 lights up. This is the step I was talking about. That if your NS7 is not warm and you go to do this, this 1 will blink on and off. It won't stay solid, and that will present some problems for you in calibration. It did quite a number on me for, I'd say, a week or so before I figured it out. But the reason is that, you know, the NS7 doesn't do that great with cold. If you keep your NS7 in a cold environment, I would recommend turning your NS7 on and letting it sit, or, you know, turning it on and playing for about, 15 to 20 minutes, let it get nice and warmed up, and then do the calibration, because if the strip search thing doesn't get calibrated correctly, you will have lots and lots of issues. You most definitely will. So anyway, down there, solid 1, pressed, and then in the very middle, again, very middle of the strip, search, will light up, press 1, and this is going to be a little more difficult, but same thing over here, right, left, center. So right, solid 1, left, see that, solid 1. I'm telling you, this is important. If you get to this step and your 1 doesn't stay solid while you're touching it, that you want to go ahead and let it continue to warm up and then try it again, because this will present problems for you. Your tracks will skip automatically back to the first one, or they'll do some ridiculous skipping, and calibration is needed. As a matter of fact, I didn't have to calibrate mine for the first, 4 months I had it. So anyway, back to what I was doing. Solid 1, and then in the middle, then you're good. That's again, right furthest, left furthest, and then in the exact middle. The last step for calibration is everything to mid-range, or everything to normal for your EQs. So you go ahead and do that. And important thing to note is that it appears that they designed this with an understanding that some of these knobs don't have like a little niche for the middle, but there's always some kind of guide, and you don't have to be dead on. You want to get as close as possible, but I wouldn't fret too hard. I wouldn't break out like a ruler or anything. It's not really that big of a deal. I think it comes with a good margin of error that is acceptable, and that won't, really interfere with getting the right setting for this. But for most of these, you can hover above them and see that the line is on. So that's an actual hovering above. I know it doesn't look like that, but it's on. The line is legit. And again, the NS7 won't even acknowledge what you've done unless you're in a good range, like this range of error. Again, don't forget these guys. These guys have to go in the middle too. Your start time and your stop time knobs. I don't think they're very clear about what knobs they want you to do or what ones count. But these are the ones that count. Again, your headphones, and your contour of your fader, that counts too. And then you know, of course these. Now this is the part where I got really messed up. Because you look down at the volume and you count the lines. Okay? You count the lines, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lines. So, what do you think the middle is? You would think on the 5th line. It's not. The middle is actually in between the 5th and 6th line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they don't really tell you that. And the only reason I found out is because I was thinking, okay, what if they didn't count that last line? Or what if they didn't count the top end? What if they did count the top end? So what I started to do is just slowly bump them both up. And sure enough, this is what I found. It's between the 5th and 6th line. And I'll tell you, if you don't know that and you go into doing this calibration, I think 9 times out of 10, this is where people will probably get hung up on it. So anyway, everything's all in the middle. Everything's all good. And again, the NS7 recognizes that everything's been aligned up. And the one in the left deck is back on. When you press this, all of them will flash at you and it'll let you know that you're successful. Good. That's it. At this point, you want to turn it off. Go ahead and hook it back in the computer. Turn that sucker back on. Then we're going to goes back into the itch. And that's it. That's freaking it. Everything's all good. See?
Casper Slide Part 2, featuring the Platinum Band, and this time we're gonna get funky.
We're gonna get funky. You are welcome.